Do you know that HIV continues to be a global public health issue, having claimed over 36 million lives so far? Do you also know that at the end of 2020, there were an estimated 37.7 million people living with HIV? Alarming it is, and that is why there is need for serious awareness, hence the World AIDS Day, to help raise awareness and knowledge of the AIDS pandemic caused by the spread of the HIV infection. And every year, on the 1st of December, the United Nations agencies, people all over the world, including health workers, come together to campaign around specific themes related to HIV/AIDS. The theme for this year's World AIDS Day is End Inequalities, End AIDS, End Pandemic, with a special focus on reaching out to people who have been left behind. People who know little or nothing about HIV/AIDS, and also to help remember those who have died from AIDS-related illnesses. This is Tea or Coffee on the Street. I am Oluwakemi Edward. Today, we'll be talking to stakeholders in the health sector and we'll be learning some facts and statistics surrounding the HIV/AIDS pandemic and how we as individuals can contribute our own quota to combating the spread. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. So come with me and let's go learn together.
HIV was first of all detected in an adolescent in Nigeria in 1986, and since then HIV has come to stay with us. Currently we are experiencing epidemic, and from the recent statistics, every 2 minutes we have a child that is born and is infected with HIV.
So if we are to look at it, so HIV has been in Nigeria for almost 36 years, and we are still on the course. I'm sure most of us are carried away with COVID-19 pandemic. But the truth is this: the mother of all pandemics still remains HIV.
A few years ago, when someone says, oh, they are HIV positive, you get this kind of response like, and it makes you wonder whether HIV is even transmitted by touching.
Someone who is living with HIV not to have sex. So yes, you've been diagnosed with HIV. It doesn't mean that you cannot have a sexual life. Many of us didn't get sex education. You know, it was just that basic, if you go near a man, you get pregnant, right? And a lot of us found out that that was a lie, because at the end of the day, we are all sitting next to each other and nobody is automatically getting pregnant. You have the choice. If you choose to abstain, great. If you choose not to, choose this other thing, which is wearing a condom, ensuring that you get regular testing.
HIV/AIDS can be gotten from injections, from those who maybe share needles, and maybe from a barbing shop, when you share any sharp objects. So the other means is not only sexually transmitted. So we have to take precautions in all those areas.
Man can be infected, woman can be infected, and both of them should have equal access to treatment. And also the women, when they come for antenatal care, we want to encourage them to get screened. When they are screened, it's not a death sentence. We give them drugs, and this prevents the infection from getting to their mothers, to the babies rather, which we refer to as prevention of maternal to child transmission. And as soon as the babies are born too, tests are carried out on them.
We still have drugs. Drugs are available, free. So people need to come out. We're not stigmatizing. No. We're taking care of adults, adolescents, children.
As a medical woman, I have a concern for inequalities because we want more women to have access to HIV testing, more information about HIV in order for us to prevent mother-to-child transmission of HIV. Women should get tested first. Even before pregnancy, they should ensure they are tested.
On government side, I know there is, Ogun State government is doing its best in terms of healthcare facilities. And like I said earlier, we discussed with a chairman's committee on health. Probably we get a resolution from the House of Assembly that to stop the discrimination and stigmatization of whoever that has HIV.
Most of the time, what I observe is people don't know what they should, and by that they tend to go for what they should not. So the kind of awareness we are creating today is going to open their eyes and make them see. So that's what we are trying to communicate today to them.
My advice is just that everybody should have a screening done, should know your HIV status, and don't discriminate, because if you discriminate, that's the thing that kills.
A lot of misinformation, is what is majorly causing the discrimination against people living with HIV. People don't have enough information. And when people don't know the truth about something, the facts about something, they sort of feel, is it threatened, or they like to repel against it. Just like the way they think me standing close to you would give me HIV. As healthcare workers, as healthcare providers, we need to make sure that we put aside our internal bias, So even though somewhere in your head you don't approve of a sex worker's work, it's not your duty to judge her or him. Just give them the service they need. Attend to them like human beings, which they are. Sexual and reproductive health and rights are basic human rights. So if you are refusing somebody's service on the basis of what they do, how they live, how they dress, or how they look, we need to think again. We are doing the wrong thing.
HIV is still real, just like we have COVID. It's still a pandemic ravaging. In 2020, we have about 1.5 million new cases that were identified globally, and is still currently much with us. Prevention is key, and for those who are positive, they should try as much as possible to start their drugs. For if they've not started, those on drugs should continue at it and ensure that the services being provided at our ART clinics are being followed and strictly adhered to. With that, viral load suppression is key on the UNAID goals, and this will go a long way in ensuring we have epidemic control and a future free of HIV AIDS.
If you are negative, try your best to reduce the spread. The first method is abstinence. The second one is be faithful, have only one partner. Then the third one is use your condoms, even if you want to have sex.
People that are negative too also, they can actually reduce the stigmatization associated with those that are HIV positive, and we can actually use that in making sure that HIV is actually reduced.
To those that are here to know their HIV status, they should come to the clinic and check their status. And to those that are positive, being HIV positive is not the end of the world. There are medications they can use which will get them in sustaining the HIV virus, and they can live a well healthy life.
I remember that when there is life, there is hope.
So if you are positive, come out and be treated, and all will be well.
Has the world made any significant impact or significant progress regarding the HIV/AIDS pandemic? Yes, it has to an extent. However, it has been made clear that there are still some important global targets yet to be met. There is still increased need, there is still critical need for increased funding to and for the AIDS response team to scale up treatment. There is need to end the stigma and discrimination surrounding the AIDS pandemic. There is need to raise the awareness of the impact of HIV on people's lives, and also to put a stop to every other pandemic that thrive on inequalities, the urgency of which has only been increased. And trust me, we as individuals, we can contribute our own quota to ending and stopping the spread, putting a stop to the stigma and discrimination surrounding this virus, ensuring that you and your partner are getting tested and treated for STDs, reaching out to key population and ensuring that they are getting treatment the little way that you can. Health, they say, is wealth. Take an HIV test today. Get in care, stay in care, and definitely watch this video. This is Tia Coffee on the Street. I am Oluwakemi Edward. We're going back to the studio. It's World AIDS Day. Let's end the pandemic.